evening, everyone, and welcome back to From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Caleb Hoggard. This last week, students and faculty had the opportunity to do some painting at Crisp Museum. Reporter Koki Lynn has more on the story.
It's another sunny day on River Campus, but when the sun goes down, the lights of Paris come on. We talked to Ellen Flengy, the curator of education for the Crisp Museum, about the Paris Paint Night held here and what students and faculty could look forward to.
Paint nights have become popular. I've attended paint nights myself with family members. I've held some at reunions and we've had a blast. And then I want to expose people that really don't get the opportunity. Maybe they don't have the supplies. We have here at SEMO University, we want to interact at the museum with students more and have them come into the museum. And so being able to provide all their supplies, offer it to them for free, not just students, but also faculty and staff can participate, and just have a fun night. I would say everybody needs to give this a try. You can't beat free. And at SEMO University, I think a lot of opportunities are here at the River Campus. We want you to come. We have performing arts, so there's theater and dance and music opportunities, and also some crafts and art.
For more information, visit the Crisp Museum about upcoming events. And for the Southeast Arrow, I'm Koki Lynn.
Thank you, Koki. To learn more on the story, check out Matea DeClue's article in the description below. When SEMO students graduate, sometimes they go on to become journalists, doctors, or even lawyers. For some, they become pro wrestlers. Reporter Nathan Gladden has more on the story.
Have you ever wanted to become a pro wrestler? Well, for two SEMO alumni, that idea has become an achievement for the two. On February 25th, Cape Championship Wrestling held matches at the AC Brace Arena, where both alumni showed their strengths. SEMO Music Education alum Dalton Manch says he started in wrestling as a commentator, then transitioned to a wrestler. When Manch began wrestling, he started as the underdog, but now has found his home and egging the crowd on as the bad guy.
Once I was able to get comfortable with that and I figured out the buttons I needed to push, I honed the art of pushing those buttons to the crowd, to my opponents.
Manch is a part of the tag team, the Academy. Manch is not the only SEMO alum taking steps into the ring. Osby Tomlin graduated SEMO in 2011. Tomlin says he was on the first CCW show back in 2015 and has been wrestling for 16 years.
So getting to take, 7 or 8 hours once a month out of my time to drive down and be a part of this show, it's amazing. I'd do it for free.
For the Southeast Arrow, I'm Nathan Gladden.
Thank you, Nathan, but I don't understand why he just gave the camera back to me, because now we're going to Nathan Gladden for this week's Weekly Roundup.
Welcome back to the Weekly Roundup, where we recap some of the most prevalent news stories taking place on and off campus. This past Saturday, the Redhawks men's basketball team defeated Tennessee Tech in overtime to win the OVC championship for the first time in 23 years. With their win, they punched their ticket into this year's March Madness tournament. With Selection Sunday being this upcoming Sunday, be sure to look for who the Redhawks will be facing in the first round of the tournament. And check out Hawks Nest this upcoming Friday for more on the Redhawks' victory. This past week, residents of Cape Girardeau may have noticed some power outages around the city. Throughout the United States, that very same storm had a much larger impact. NPR reports that as many as 850,000 people were left without power, with 400,000 in the South still without power on Saturday. As we move into tornado season, it's important to remember to be prepared for the weather in the future. March 22nd is a very special day for SEMO, as they will be celebrating their 150th birthday. The Arrow will be releasing their special section tomorrow, March 8th, which will include a multitude of different stories such as the history of SGA, a forgotten mascot, and many more topics that led to SEMO's 150 years of success. Thank you for joining me on this week's edition of the Weekly Roundup. I'm Nathan Gladden. Back to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Nathan. Unfortunately for everyone at home, Nathan will not be here next week. However, him and along with other members of the Arrow staff will be recording videos that we'll be able to have on next week's broadcast. especially talking about next week's broadcast, be sure to tune in as we try out a new segment that you don't want to miss. As always, this is From the Newsroom, and I'm your host, Caleb Hoggard. Good night, Cape Girardeau.